questions I ask and make some sense when you answer them.
Nothing sucks more than when a man decides to drop a truth bomb and a woman, and she just can't handle the news. Some women handle the truth pretty well, while others just pass out. These are some of those times where women just couldn't handle the truth. Ms. Hawthorne is in the courtroom today because her high school sweetheart, Mr. Brown, who is also the defendant, is a smooth-talking deadbeat who got her pregnant 3 years ago and is now denying her child. Mr. Brown, on the other hand, says that Ms. Hawthorne is a desperate liar, and all she's trying to do is pin the baby on him. This is how the case begins.
Ms. Hawthorne, you say your high school sweetheart, Mr. Brown, is a smooth-talking deadbeat who got you pregnant 3 years ago, now denying your baby. Is that correct? Thorne is a desperate liar who will say and do anything in order to have a family with you.
That's probably why the whole situation is making Ms. Hawthorne angry. She also did not grow up without a father, and she doesn't want her child to grow up not knowing his father too. Mr. Brown says that Ms. Hawthorne would say anything to get into a relationship with him.
Your Honor, this baby isn't mine. I desperately believe that she's emotionally attached to me and she desperately wants to have a family with me.
It's not true because me and DeAndre, we were in a relationship. We were high school sweethearts. You know, I was all about him. Everything was good until he started cheating.
Now, we're starting to understand what's really going on. Ms. Hawthorne says that Mr. Brown was her high school sweetheart. She even lost her virginity to him. All that changed when he started to cheat on her with several women. That had to have broken her into a million pieces.
Separate. He's in Chicago and I'm in the suburbs.
Okay,
So we started
like,
dating through
what
online.
Is happening?
We were dating online. That's how we found out about each other.
Oh, so you all met online.
Right, and so we were dating online, but it actually took a year.
And you all were going back and forth.
Yeah.
Ha! Good one, Judge Lauren. Let's hope all the parents are taking notes. Ms. Hawthorne tells the judge that she met Mr. Brown online, and it took about a year of texting online before they finally met in person. Looks like their bond was pretty strong to have lasted for an entire year without seeing each other.
One sexual encounter, because you wouldn't be a potential father had you not continued to have sex with her. Chase is only 2 conceived.
It was in December 9th, 2015.
You all reconnect, or did you get back together? What happened?
I was pretty much leaving my significant other. We was in the car and we ended up.
Wow, that's just crazy. Mr. Brown tells the judge that he reunited with Ms. Hawthorne because at the time he wanted to end things with her. One thing led to another, and they ended up having sex in the back of his vehicle. Ms. Hawthorne then goes on to say that they were talking about getting back together, and that's why they had sex in the first place, because it was an emotional moment.
Finish, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's a complete lie.
Oh, you're saying you didn't
complete
finish
lie.
the act.
Actually, I warned him.
So, Your Honor,
So
that
do what
is
you will.
the reason why I did not finish, because she wasn't on birth control, so why would I?
And so therefore you can't be Chase's biological father.
Ugh! How horrible of a person can Mr. Brown be? That's just crazy. He tells Judge Lauren that he had SWX with his girlfriend Jizzy before he came to see Ms. Hawthorne and also had sex with her. Oh, and let's not forget that fact that he is claiming that he didn't finish the act with Ms. Hawthorne, and that's why he feels he can't be the father of the child. This man is just crazy.
Beginning of December of 2015.
This is a shady situation from the beginning.
You said it's shady.
This is a shady
Your Honor.
situation.
Let me ask the questions and you all answer them, because y'all talking about all over the place. I mean, you all are sitting there operating off of 2 completely different understandings. You think you in the back of a car getting back together.
Oh, Judge Lauren is pissed. I'm just glad that she is finally slapping some sense into these guys. Judge Lauren is mad at the fact that they both have different stories to tell, and none of them seem to care about the fact that there is a 2-year-old child who doesn't have a mother and a father that agree with each other.
Therefore, you do know you could be Chase's biological father. Now I want to know why you doubt it.
Your Honor, she had a boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
I did not.
Is this a guy you've been intimate with ever?
No, never at all. He was just a friend.
So you're gonna move in with someone and not have sex with them?
Yes.
Haha, seems like Mr. Brown thinks everyone is just like him. His doubt comes from the fact that he thinks Ms. Hawthorne had a boyfriend while they were together. Ms. Hawthorne then says that the guy he is talking about was just a friend of hers, and they were never intimate, even though they lived together.
Brown had moved on, had a whole different girlfriend and everything, that you were with no one else.
I was not doing anything with anybody else.
That is your testimony?
Yes.
All right. Take me to the birth. When Chase was
Yes.
born, do you notify by Mr. Brown?
No.
But this is the father of your child.
Seems like Ms. Hawthorne is also not telling the entire truth with that look on her face. She tells the judge that she didn't tell Mr. Brown about the pregnancy because she wanted to make sure everything was okay with her baby before she told him so. That doesn't make any sense.
That I haven't done anything.
What have
with
you
this
done?
baby. I've actually sent her money each month.
How much money?
Bye.
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Hawthorne, did he give you money every month?
No.
Who's
Money-
helping you with Chase?
Mom.
Mom, I want you to stand up. Step over to the podium. State your name for the court, please.
Carolyn Hawthorne.
Well, she definitely thinks Mr. Brown is the father of her daughter's child. Mr. Brown initially told the judge that he sent Ms. Hawthorne money anytime she asked for it. She fired back and said that he was lying, and the only person who helps her take care of the child is her mother.
Right.
How?
He sent it December the 4th. I text him and asked him, I said, Bria, it's not working. Can you get something for the baby? And he said, I don't have the money now.
You submitted those texts to the court. Let me look in my file.
I didn't-
That's what you write. Mr. Brown responds, trust me.
Those texts definitely sound like Mr. Brown has accepted that he is the father of the child. Why he is denying the baby right now, he is the only one who can answer the question. Oh well, here are the results and this is the judge's verdict.
Mr. Brown, you are not the father.
Is that a joke?
No, the DNA does not lie and it does not joke.
Ms. King is here to prove to her on-again, off-again boyfriend that he is the father of her 3-year-old son. She says that his denial has ruined their relationship and she needs to know the results today. The defendant, Mr. Porter, says that he has always wanted kids but believes that he is medically incapable of having them. This is how their case begins.
Miss King, you are here to prove to your on-again, off-again boyfriend, Mr. Porter, that your 3-year-old son, Kylan, is his biological child. You say his denial and you need today's result to set the record straight. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
She just knows he is the father? Well, she sure seems to be very sure about that. How come she is so sure that Mr. Porter is the father of her child when he already believes that he can't have kids? Maybe this is another miracle baby.
Are you not stepping up, Miss Porter?
It's not the fact that I'm not stepping up, it's just the fact that I have doubts. When we was together, we was, had our problems off and on. And when we broke up, I went back to New York. That's the female I was talking to at the time, and Miss King, they were...
That sounds very confusing as hell. Mr. Porter explained to the judge that their relationship was off and on. They broke up and he ended up dating another woman. Here's where things get crazy. He then says that the woman he was dating and Ms. King started talking, and Ms. King told the other woman she was pregnant. I mean, does any of that make sense to you?
What happens when you find out you're pregnant, Miss King?
I told him that I was pregnant, but I really wasn't pregnant.
Now, all right, Mr. Porter, so then Miss King admits...
You really can't blame him for thinking she is trying to trap him with a baby for real. Ms. Hawthorne admits that the first time she told him that she was pregnant, she actually lied to him and was not pregnant with his child. What even makes him doubt it more is the fact that she was with another guy, and the fact that she told him she was pregnant by him just didn't make sense.
I was going to tell him that I wasn't pregnant, but during that time that I was going to tell him that I wasn't pregnant.
Really trying to get pregnant because you knew
I
you had
basically
lied.
tried to get
Go on,
pregnant,
just
yeah.
tell the truth. You had already lied.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you were pregnant, but he doesn't believe that.
No, he doesn't believe it. Came out clear and told you I even lied about being pregnant.
Judge Lauren is not wrong if we're being honest. Once you tell a lie, there is no going back. It's going to be hard to get anyone to believe you, especially if you lied about something as big as a pregnancy. Ms. King says that she did come clean about the lie, but that doesn't erase the fact that she already lied to him.
Or it's coming out in paternity court.
I was, because when I found out that he was still dating her, he would sometimes break up with me and decide I don't want to be with you anymore, just pick fine. So when he would do that, I would go back and I would talk to my past relationship.
But you told Mr. Porter he's the biological father of Kylan.
Ugh! Finally, someone please tell this woman the truth. Apparently, while Mr. Porter was dating the other woman, Ms. King was also kicking it in bed with another man. What's funny is that she is now saying that Mr. Porter is the father of her child when she was clearly intimate with another man.
When she went to sleep, her phone started to go off. So I say, I'm a curious guy, why am I
Curious?
Something like that. I'm like, why am I
Curious George.
That's what they call me sometimes. And I seen some text messages between her and another guy. So that right there was like,
But why were you going through my phone? We're not together.
That has to be sad. Mr. Porter tells the judge that even though he was there for the birth of the child, he has his doubts that the baby was not his. He even goes on to say that all through the pregnancy, he told Ms. King that he didn't believe the baby was his, especially when he held the child in his arms.
Let's take a look. This is your recollection of the text exchange. Ms. King writes, in the hospital about to have the baby. No, he doesn't want to be responsible. Other man says, I will sign the birth certificate. Ms. King says, okay, great.
It was just a joke.
She can't be serious with that. What does she mean by it was just a joke? Well, that is one expensive joke. Mr. Porter showed the judge some text messages where Ms. King told the other man she was sleeping with that it was okay for him to sign the birth certificate since Mr. Porter did not want to. She is one crazy lady.
What are you feeling in this moment?
Because my son deserves to have a father.
I agree. But it's not the father you choose because it's the person you want to be the father. It's the father that truly is his biological father. Have father figures. People can step in and play the role of dad. But I know what you're saying. You decided it's Mr. Porter.
The truth bomb just doesn't end. Ms. King tells the judge that she wants her baby to have a father. Not just any father, but her biological father. Just as she concludes that statement, Mr. Porter tells the judge that Ms. King has actually told him to his face that she would trap him with the baby.
It's going to be short.
Is that what you walked over here to say? We'll just say that that's a little bit of evidence, right?
Yes.
The truth is, you could have had sex with another short man if you want to rely on short.
Your Honor, at the same token, I have medical problem. I presented it to the court.
That's one heavy confession Judge Lauren can't overlook. Mr. Porter tells her that he was diagnosed with lead poisoning as a kid, and that has prevented him from being able to have children. The fact that Ms. King says he is the father just makes him doubt even more, especially with his condition.
Was diagnosed as a child. How likely that this diagnosis still would affect father or child?
So, since I'm assuming that you are no longer at a toxic level, it wouldn't affect the sperm shape or mobility, but because you're developing as a child and that genital tract.
Wow! Looks like Mr. Porter was right about his condition. Judge Lauren wanted to learn more about how conditioned, so she asked an expert to help explain the condition, and she confirmed that he actually can't have kids. Phew, I think we need to get to the results at this point.
Mr. Porter, you are the father.
I'm happy. I'm super happy right now.
You look happy.
Ms. King, I want to apologize to the way I carry myself.
Mr. Campbell is in court because he says that his ex-girlfriend is nothing but a conniving, gold-digging cheater whose goal is to pin her 9-month-old son on him for her own personal gain. The defendant, Ms. McCier, says that he is a compulsive liar who is denying her son out of spite because she doesn't want him anymore. This is how the case begins.
Mr. Campbell, you are here today because you say your ex-girlfriend is nothing but a conniving, gold-digging cheater whose goal is to pin her 9-month-old son legacy on you for her own personal gain. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who's denying your son out of spite because you no longer want to be with him.
He does seem pissed about the situation. Now it makes sense when he says that Ms. McCier is a gold digger. He begins by telling the judge that all she did was take and take and take from him. Anytime he ran out of money, she would abandon him and return when he had more money to give.
It's outrageous. How can I trust somebody who talks to different men who...
Any proof of this?
That makes no
Any
sense.
proof of this?
You know it's the truth.
This is part of your habitual lying.
One day she went out and I saw her in her bra and panties in the room with another man. When I came to the house, I came to come get some...
Oh, wow. Looks like there truly was another man in the picture. Mr. Campbell tells the judge that he caught Ms. McCier almost half naked with another man on the same bed. Ms. McCier then says that she was indeed with another man, but he was sitting on the bench and she was not half naked.
Walk in that room.
Ms. McCier, you laughing, so it's true?
Well, I didn't have a shirt on, you're right, but it was hot and I was pregnant. He's a full married man. We've been friends came in the house, so it wasn't like I was trying to hide anything. I let him in.
Did you say he was a full married man?
Married man. Your Honor, she...
This just feels like two besties having a fight over the same boy in high school. Mr. Campbell tells the judge that Ms. McCier is very much known for sleeping with married men, so the fact that she says the man he caught her with is a full married man doesn't change a thing. I honestly wonder how these two got into a relationship to begin with.
You say you know when you conceived?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you know this, Ms. McCier?
2017, Hurricane Irma hit. At that time, we were staying together, and it was a tree blocking my driveway. I could not go nowhere.
So, what? You said it was nothing to do.
Nothing else to do.
Except make a baby.
Make a baby.
Once again, I still find it hard to believe that these two were actually boyfriend and girlfriend at some point in their lives. They get into an argument about how things really played out in creating a child, and nothing they are saying makes any sense to Judge Lauren.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's see if we can confirm that. So first, I want to look up hits as a category for storm on the morning of September 10th, power to more than 6.8 million people. So that was around September 10th. So Mr. Campbell?
That pretty much sums it up. Ms. McCier initially said that they made the baby during one of the biggest hurricanes in Georgia. Judge Lauren then decides to look up the date of the hurricane, and she finds out that Ms. McCier was actually telling the truth. To make things even better, Mr. Campbell remembers kicking it in bed during the hurricane.
To September 24th, and the date of intercourse would have been somewhere between September 17th to September 24th.
It's not like we didn't plan this baby. He wanted another child. We talked about it. We made him. I do everything for my son.
I ain't got no money because you took it all.
These two have to be the funniest individuals to ever find their way into the courtroom. They are just hilarious. Ms. McCier says that they actually planned to have the baby, and the only reason why Mr. Campbell is denying the child is because he doesn't have any money to take care of the child.
Honor, clearly I am not the father of this. Over the course of our relationship, Mariah has sent me multiple pictures with 4 different men holding this child. 4 different men, and she cannot deny that.
Yeah.
Can you? Your Honor.
4 different men holding the baby?
Yes, Your Honor, sending the pictures. Me, and those pictures, none of them was me. So
Now that is just nasty. Why on earth would she taunt him like that? Mr. Campbell presents evidence that shows that Ms. McCier sent him pictures of the baby with 4 different men, and in some of those pictures, the men were not even clothed. Those are some serious accusations right there. Could they be true?
deny that.
No, you're lying.
Time she was still pregnant with the baby. And he was asking her how she was doing, and she was.
You wasn't even there my whole pregnancy, so how could you say that? When you came back around, he was already 2 weeks. You never was with me. You never was with me. Not one day of my pregnancy, not one.
The drama just never ends with these two. Mr. Campbell says that a family member told him that Ms. McCier had a DNA test done with another man, so she could determine the man was the father of her child. As you would expect, she denies it and says it's a lie. At this point, I think the results are the only thing that can keep these two quiet. Let's see what they have to say.
Campbell, you are the father. You're the father. That is your beautiful babe. Why does it make you feel so emotional?
Because she won't let me be in his life. Like, she hates me so much.
This is one messy situation you will never forget. Ms. Bargy found herself in the middle of 2 men, her husband and her ex-boyfriend. The crazy thing about this situation was that both men believed they were the father of Ms. Bargy's baby, and she had no idea who the father was. She started her case by saying this.
Ms. Bargy, you and I spoke briefly in my chambers.
Yes, Your Honor.
You admit are caught in a paternity triangle, with both men believing today's DNA results prove that your husband is her father, so you can save your marriage. Is this?
At least she's not denying making a mistake, and the beautiful part is that she wants to find a way out. Judge Lauren, understanding the intensity of the situation, proceeds to ask her husband what type of bond he had built with the child. As you would expect, he loved the baby beyond words could explain.
Oh, Mr. Bargy?
Yes.
You've fallen in love with McKenna.
Yes.
Tell me about the relationship you have with her.
I could be at work for 10 to 12 hours a day. I take 5 minutes out of my time, busy or not at work, video call, sit here like that right there.
Aren't they just cute in that video? Anyway, Mr. Lawson, the ex-boyfriend, wasn't ready to give up his claim of being the father of the child even after seeing Ms. Bargy's husband and the baby bond so well.
I believe I am because I was around. She was with me when she got pregnant. I was there for the whole pregnancy. I was there when McKenna was born.
Ms. Bargy, can you explain to the court how we got here?
I was in. We ended up having intimate.
It seems like the break from her marriage took a wild turn, and now she's paying for the consequences. Now trust me, that's not all. When she found out she was pregnant, she told Mr. Lawson before her husband. Why? Because they were living together at the time. Jeez.
The day that I found out was the end of April. It was April the 27th. The whole month of April I was getting sick.
Who did you tell first?
I told my mother first, and me and Calvin had been living together. And when
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Even Judge Lauren was disappointed to hear that, but there there was more disappointment coming her way. Ms. Bargy never mentioned the pregnancy to her husband. She claimed she didn't have the courage to confront him about it, but here's how he found out. Wow.
Actually got up the courage to tell your husband that you were pregnant and McKenna could be his child.
I did not tell my husband, period. He had a mutual friend that was on my Facebook and of me posting an ultrasound and then, okay, well, you know.
So she was sleeping with Mr. Lawson and her husband at the same time? That explains why they both feel they could be possible fathers of the baby. But the truth bombs keep getting worse. Ms. Bargy went on to tell the judge that she found out that her husband was also sleeping with his ex.
One time, and that was due to the fact that he had spoken to one of my friends and they had talked about actually being together. It was my friend was one of his exes, and was showing me messages that him and her were sleeping together when me and him.
Mr. Lawson?
Yes.
Decided to go get a house with Mr. Lawson to only...
Oh, I'm siding with Judge Lauren. That's one big mess. Unlike Ms. Bargy's husband, Mr. Lawson had no relationship with the child in question. He claimed that when he tried to be in the child's life several times, Ms. Bargy was evasive because she wanted her husband to be the father of the child.
Right now, I don't have a relationship because when Miss Bargy left, we have talked and tried to set up times for me to see her.
Your Honor, I have given him plenty opportunities to see her. Do you want to see her on this day? And he'll say,
Could Mr. Lawson be lying about trying to see her child? Who knows? Ms. Bargy made one thing clear to the judge. She claimed that if Mr. Lawson ended up being the father, she wouldn't want him anywhere near her child.
If Mr. Lawson is McKenna's biological father, have you thought about where you go from here?
if Mr. Lawson is her father, I do not want him to be a part of her life, period. Like, I want rights terminated because my daughter deserves so much better. My husband has been there and took care of her since all this has happened. He has been...
She must really dislike Mr. Lawson. Well, it's time we reveal the DNA results and bring their paternity drama to an end. Let's see if Ms. Bargy's prayers are going to be answered.
Biological father is Mr. Lawson. You are McKenna's biological father, Lawson.
That's okay. I'm still gonna raise her.
Do you want to be in her life?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sedeno was in the courtroom today to clear his name from the allegations of his being a father. He believed he was done with Ms. Ramirez and no longer had any feelings for her. He even climbed, and she was trying to pin the baby on him. The crazy case starts of like this.
Sedeno, you are seeking the results of a 1.5-month-old daughter, Aislinn. You claim you two broke up and now you have no feelings.
Apparently, Mr. Sedeno was Ms. Ramirez's everything, from her first love to her first boyfriend and basically everything after that. She was pretty hurt that he would want to deny her and her daughter.
I'm very shocked. I'm very hurt that he would even deny her. He's my first love, my first boyfriend, my first everything. And I'm tired of him.
What you're about to hear will definitely make you ask if Ms. Ramirez was a child, because only kids would do something so petty. Apparently, Ms. Ramirez was in contact with his girlfriend. After she and Mr. Sedeno had split up, she told his new girlfriend that she was going to sleep with him regardless.
I told her that I was going to sleep with him, and she told me to prove it. So when we were having sex, I called her on the phone so that she could hear.
What?
Yeah.
With a smile on his face, Mr. Sedeno didn't deny that it happened, but that wasn't his focus in the courtroom. He was here to talk about his doubts. It was pretty funny because Mr. Sedeno and Ms. Ramirez were still very intimate while he still had a girlfriend.
It did happen. I mean, I'm not going to deny it. And I was with my girlfriend when it did, and I have pretty much my list of doubts of why I pretty much think Aislinn's not mine.
So despite the fact that you're admitting that you...
Mr. Sedeno couldn't even keep his stories in check. Funny enough, the child in question wasn't the only child he had with Ms. Ramirez. He had 2 other kids in the equation, but was very certain that the current child in question was definitely not his.
To visit your children and end up visiting your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and I had pretty much fallen victim that day.
Mr. Sedeno had a long list of doubts that made him feel he couldn't be the father of her 3rd child. He claimed the pregnancy happened way too fast, and he was sure the period they both had sex didn't add up to her getting pregnant.
Like, there was a year difference between my son and my daughter, and then she had this 3rd kid, which I wasn't even around her that much longer. If I was, why wouldn't she put me on the...
So you're saying that...
It was a blaming contest in the courtroom, and they were very good at playing it. Ms. Ramirez claimed he never enjoyed spending time with her kids. She said every time he came to pick them up, he was always so eager to drop them off.
How I can take the kids, but can you do this for me?
No,
that's
it's
not why
never
I'm
like
there.
that. I let him take the kids. He'll say he's going to take the kids for a few days.
The cat started to fly out of the box, and Ms. Ramirez Ramirez started to come clean about why she had actually decided to get pregnant. She was very jealous of Mr. Sedeno's new girlfriend, and the moment she found out she was pregnant, she decided to have his child too.
Super conscious mind.
I did it I love my daughter and I got pregnant for the wrong reason, but that's why I did it.
Court, that you
I
keep
have
an
an ovulation calendar.
There's no reason an innocent child should be suffering because of the mistakes adults make. At this point, you sort of feel sorry for the little child in question. Anyway, it's time to see what the DNA results say about all of this.
Mr. Sedeno, you are her father.
I told you.